The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. If you're injured in a car accident or any other injuries, give them a call 407-706-3535. That's whenyouneedus.com. So your kids did not name the elf then?
We collectively came up with the
Way
name.
to steal the creativity from the kids.
We collectively came up with the name because we didn't want it to have a dumb name. Just gonna.
That's fair.
Anyways, so sometimes I really get into it and make it really fun, and he's doing all kinds of cool stuff. Other times I forget, and I happen to be awake 5 seconds before the kids, and I literally just take him and lob him somewhere. Like, I hope he lands somewhere else. However, I am very lucky that I have a really cool and pretty responsible teenager. When Zoe saw me bringing Seymour out, she goes, "Aw, man, I got another job again for the next 25 days." Like, she...
You have outsourced.
I have outsourced
the moving of the elf. Brilliant.
I have, and we
So
were
now I don't feel bad for you. Let's go back to feeling
pity
bad
me.
for me.
Feel bad for me, Scott. Listen, we were at
Feel
Target.
bad for you because you've outsourced moving the elf on the shelf to your teenage kid. That's some BS, man.
Listen,
I don't
and
feel
she's
bad for you. You have to move it 4 days a week.
Listen, she's so good at it too. We were at Target and we passed by a display. I did not talk to it. And she was like, "Oh, this should be from Seymour for the boys," and it's like little elf chocolates.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
Come on, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube, Twitch, all of our links are right there on our website. That's nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, you can check out our sweet merchandise or join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon. For as low as $1 a month, you can watch us record our entire episode live as it's happening. You can see all the cutting room floor stuff that doesn't make it to the episodes. You can see the in-between segment banter where we come up with our genius segments. All that good stuff. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, as always, I'm an architect for her pain. She is the queen of quandary, Mary.
Mary.
And our other co-host, he is our scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. When he isn't around, he lives an awful hole, doesn't he?
Okay, I'm sure that's a famous quote from some movie, but you're going to tie it back to something that I did inappropriate at the park.
No, I wish, but
Wow.
Ryan didn't message me anything. He was pretty beat up about you insulting his joke from last week. This I thought you would have gotten, Scott.
Okay.
This movie was made probably when you were a kid.
Probably when I was a kid.
Yeah.
The 10 Commandments.
No, wait, hold on.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, the Christmas. How did I miss that one?
Yeah, I thought you would have gotten that one.
Yeah, it's not a really quotable movie. The only quote from that movie
Yeah, it's
is,
about the bell.
"Look, Daddy, every time our teacher says, every time a bell rings, an angel
You
gets
couldn't
its
even get
wings."
it right. You're like the most
I know.
memorable quote is the one I
That's
don't
how
know.
forgettable that quote is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me also introduce our producer, Alex.
It's me, the guy who edits the podcast.
What were you going to say, Chris?
I don't know. I hate that movie.
Okay. So something happened. It's funny how these things roll. I have an idea in my head how these episodes are going to go, and then something happens literally right before we start recording. Literally right before we start recording. That just it gets my wheels turning. So let me kind of paint the picture of what happens in my house, and then Chris can kind of share what happened right before we started recording. So
Let me start digging my early grave.
Right? So I will be watching a movie, and Mary, I know this happens with your kids, but I'd be interested to see if this happens with Mike. So I'm watching a movie or I'm watching a sporting event and I'm trying to listen to the TV. And of course, that is when my wife needs to give the dogs their treat. So they start barking really loud, or she has to fill up her glass with ice and it's making all sorts of, she has to make as much noise as possible in the kitchen when I'm trying to watch something. I'm like, can you wait till a commercial? Like I'm watching a live event. Wait till the goddamn commercial. Mary, does this happen to you? Or are you the culprit? I feel like this is a wife thing to annoy their
I'm not
husbands.
a culprit. You know what happens is that one of my kids, like this happened last night. I was watching a documentary, obviously, and Grayson comes and he is very sweet. He'll say, "You want to lay down with each other?" And it sounds so sweet and innocent, right? But then he brings his phone and blasts it at like level 12, watching a Sonic YouTube video while I'm trying to watch something. And it's like right next to my head. I'm like, buddy, can you turn the volume down? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he turns it down like 1 and then like leans closer to me.
Sure.
So that's
puts the earbud in your ear.
Yeah. Or I'll be watching something and he's like, you know what I should do? Tell you about the dream I had 3 weeks ago that I can't quite recall all the details, but it's going to take me 23 minutes to tell you. And then he just keeps talking and I miss everything that I'm trying to watch. That's
Rachel does the same. I mean, we'll be watching a movie and then all of a sudden I hear a YouTube video. I'm like, we're watching a movie. Why are you watching YouTube at the same time?
Because I need more stimuli, man.
I know, right? Would you like her? And then, but if I have the TV and the radio on at the same time, World War III erupts. Why do I have all this stuff going on?
Yeah, how can you pay attention to the TV and no? That's too much. Music and a show? No.
Well, I'm typically bored because she's watching Below Deck or something, and I've got to click on and hear my own voice on the New Friends podcast.
Oh my.
Chris, how about you? Does Emily do anything when you're about to, when you're watching a movie or about to record a podcast and you're live on Twitch? Anything that you could think of?
So, the reason of this whole discussion, Scott, is because literally as soon as we went live, Emily starts doing construction work on our bathroom. And she was doing it because she needed something to tell in the shower.
You see, Chris is like looking around. He's about to tell an inappropriate joke.
Yeah, it's like he's being held hostage, and he's like, "Yes, I'm safe," and they're feeding me, like looking over. Like,
she's smarter than you think because I think she knew this was coming, and now I'm gonna be sleeping on the couch, not because she's sick, but because she's gonna be sick of me. I think because she said she was fixing something in the shower so she could take a shower. But guess what? She fixed it in the shower. Now she's laying on the couch. So is she spying on me?
Probably because she's exhausted from doing something that you could have done.
Listen,
right? Listen, that is what she said. She's like, "Well, you could have done this."
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Chris is getting yelled
Emily
at.
may have
This
a
is
comment.
Fantastic. Oh, Emily's got a comment.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Reporting live.
Oh, I just wanted
their facial reactions. I'll just take it from there. So I am sitting on the couch because I decided since I was fixing the shower, I also noticed that our shower was quite dirty, that someone also took a shower with earlier. Also probably noticed it was quite dirty and did not do anything about it once again. So I'm sitting on the couch while I let mold and mildew, spray sit on the floor so I can take a shower in cleanliness instead of a dirty shower.
Filthy
Chris
animal.
is sick.
I don't need a response. I'm just going to walk away.
You got to give him a
pass. He's probably sick from all the mildew and spores
sick.
that he's breathing in from not cleaning the damn shower, Chris.
I don't know whether to go on the segment or just keep quiet. I don't know. I'm in a very weird place right now.
If I could offer advice, I would shut the hell up.
I know. I agree. Listen, it was a long day today. I'm in the beginning stages of the man flu, and I'm trying to take it easy.
It's too early. January. We selected January as Man Flu Awareness Month,
and you know what? And I sacrificed my body to be able to spread that awareness come January.
It's coming on a lot more than awareness.
This is my second one in the last month. And I'm not going to say it's because Emily, works with kids and, brings things home, but, Emily works with kids and brings things home. And, I do this I put myself through this to spread awareness, which we will talk about in January. But yeah, totally unnecessary. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, really, this is what you need to be telling Emily. Okay, look, I have the energy to do one thing besides work today. and I'm not doing Tuesday Night Football. I'm not doing Call of Duty. I have to do the podcast. I don't have time to wipe mildew from the shower.
Exactly.
Like, we each do one thing after work. You worked, wipe down the mildew.
Yeah.
Chris, you worked, now you do the podcast. It's all about priorities.
Listen, I understand. Emily had a very long day at work. She worked overtime today. She chaperoned a basketball game. I understand that. But listen, I had to drive all the way to my office. I had to turn the heat up because it was cold there. Because when I was playing video games in my office, it was cold. I had to warm that up. I had to go to Walmart to get lunch and snacks, and then I had to go. I didn't get lunch at Walmart. Listen. I'm not that kind of human being. I went to Walmart. I had to pick up some snacks and Pokemon cards. It was a pretty long. I had to walk in the rain. It was raining.
Wow,
out,
both ways. Okay.
I had to park in the back of the parking lot.
I had to walk to
Walmart
in the rain.
It's true. I had to park in the back of the parking lot so that no one would hit my car. Walk all the way up in the rain. Catch another cold, probably. It's probably how I got sick so quickly. It's because I had to walk all the way to get Pokemon cards, all the way a mile away. I had a very long day today too. So it was, it's not been easy for me. It has not been easy.
Listen, unfortunately, man, this is all on you,
Chris.
An inspiration.
Yeah, this is all on me.
He is an inspiration. Look, listen. This is kind of all on you. I was on your side. Emily hammering something in the background, and but you could have fixed the problem first. I'm more talking about I'm laying on the couch. Okay. Should I be getting her wine during commercial breaks? So that way I don't have to deal with the ice hitting the glass cup as she's dispensing the ice. I mean, what do you think?
Do you want to know the truth?
Mary, do you do this to Mike, or does Mike do this to you at all? Or is it just the kids?
I think we all play a hand in wrecking someone else's enjoyable downtime, right? I kind of enjoy creating chaos. I'll just walk by Mike and knock his hat off of his head.
Oh,
I'm sure I'm sure you're like Miley Cyrus, just coming in like a wrecking ball, just because it's pay attention to me.
Well, you know who actually is the worst is Waffles. She's the worst. She'll just start barking for no reason. Or last night I finally tried to eat something and I ate one tater tot off of my plate, and this hoe comes up and grabs the whole plate and takes off. She ate all of my food, just took it, and there was nothing I could do about it. And all I see is her fat little butt run away with my plate, gone. She does things like that, or she'll just sit next to you and go, "Arr," and then look at you. It's worse. It's worse. Continue, sorry.
I do have a confession, and I think I'm ready to talk about it.
Oh. This is a big moment.
So the thing that Emily was fixing the shower is this shower caddy that we had one that hung from the faucet like a normal one. Emily got this fancy one that gets squished in between the floor of the shower and the ceiling of the bathroom.
Sounds pretty intense.
I don't know how to do it. I tried. Listen, I went in the shower.
Watch the YouTube video. What are you doing here?
I went in the I don't know what it's called. What do I call that? I don't even know how to explain it.
Just type in all of those words, and I bet somebody typed in the exact same thing.
No.
Shower caddy squishes between floor.
It is so confusing.
Type in the brand.
I'm going to be honest with you. I spent 10 minutes twisting because I thought maybe it's lefty loosey righty tighty, and I'm trying to because it did fall in the shower the other day. I didn't say anything because I thought I had it fixed. Listen, I just jammed it up there, pretty good at that, and I
don't know. Emily's hammering without you, so
and it stayed. Go in there to go to the bathroom today, and it fell down again. Had to turn a blind eye because I can't embarrass myself.
Wow, so you pretended like you didn't even see it.
Listen.
Oh, yeah, no, Mary, that is something before us men get married. That's part of the pre-husband class that we take is just ignore it. She'll take care of it.
Oh, so it's like the toilet paper. You know that it's probably empty,
just
and you're
ignore
it. I didn't see that.
Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah. I didn't notice it.
And I covered my tracks. I saw that, freaked out, went right to Whole Foods to get oat milk. Just so I could be like, oh, you didn't see this happen? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
There's no way I have an alibi. Look at the time on my receipt. There's no way I was even home.
I haven't been home all day. I was food shopping.
Well, what
And,
was that loud
yeah.
bang? Meanwhile, Chris is trying to cover up a fart, tries to duplicate the noise of the thing crashing and be like, look, it's this. I picked it up. You're welcome.
So if anybody knows how to fix a shower caddy thing that squishes between the ceiling and the floor,
I'm gonna
please
Google
contact
that
us at
right
nonefriendspodcast@yahoo.com. Be greatly appreciated. Or tweet at us. We got a great Twitter account now.
We do have a great Twitter account. It's interesting, and maybe we'll save this for another episode, but coming up with our fantasy team of episodes, which I thought was really, really cool. Thank you, Steve, the intern, for doing that. And maybe we'll hit that later. Chris, are you okay? You look like a cat that sees a fly flying around. What is wrong with you?
Oh, okay. So I forgot that I'm sorry, this is funny. I thought you were going to break, like doing something new. Our theme song started playing. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like you play us out now with the theme song or something. And nobody was reacting. I was like, oh, why am I only hearing this? It's because thank you very much, Luis, for subscribing to our Twitch. Forgot that notification goes off in my head when that turns on.
Love technology.
Oh, yes.
So something worse than being interrupted when trying to watch something. And listen, if there's any kids listening right now, go ahead and turn this off. This is the family-friendly portion of the show is now over. Give the phone or the electronic devices back to mommy and daddy. You shouldn't be listening to the show anyway.
And then
the two of you out there,
DCF
I know you know who I'm
immediately.
talking about.
I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
we're going to call DCF. So we got to talk about Elf on the Shelf real quick.
I don't know what
Chris,
Elf on a Shelf is, actually.
So I know, because you don't have any kids. You
No.
probably think it's this fun thing where you position the elf in different funny poses and take pictures and put them onto Facebook.
That's all I know.
Yeah. That's the fun part of this. Let
No,
me tell you what
there's
Elf
no-
on the Shelf
okay.
is.
You can't touch it,
No.
right?
The kids can't touch
No,
it.
kids
Adults
can't.
can.
Kids can't. Well, that's the thing, is you can't touch it because it ruins the magic.
No, but adults
So
can
Elf-
touch it. In our
I-
house, adults can touch it, and if the kids want to take
No.
him somewhere on a field trip, we put him in a Ziploc bag so he can go, and the kids can hold him.
I love that.
So definitely didn't see that in the book that I read my 10-year-old when she first got Elf on the Shelf. Like, it says no one can touch it, not even adults.
It doesn't say
So-
not even adults. It doesn't.
Well,
outline
it
that.
says no one. It says no one can touch it. So that means it's implied not even adults.
I'm not a real person.
No one can touch it.
Scott.
Stop. So, Chris, this is what this is. The Elf on the Shelf comes from the North Pole the evening after Thanksgiving. So when the kids go to bed on Thanksgiving and they wake up on Black Friday, the Elf on the Shelf has arrived. Okay.
Okay.
And the elf is sent. He's a spy from Santa Claus, sent from the North Pole to watch these kids and report back to in Ryan's house. He calls it Yob on the Shelf.
Why are you watching? You're in Disney, Ryan. Get off of Twitch.
So, and we are going to have Ryan is down from North Carolina. I got to have dinner with him the other night. He's going to be on next week, to kind of talk about his Florida trip. But so the elf reports back every night to Santa, how the behavior has been of the children in the house. And then each day, the elf is in a new place in the house. So he's hiding somewhere, but he's hiding kind of in plain sight. So the kids wake up in the morning and it's super exciting to try to find where the elf is. Where's the elf? And it's this little game. So the problem is, let's say, you've been drinking which is what we do on Thanksgiving. You forget the elf, or, you go to bed forgetting to move the elf, and then you have to wake up. You run downstairs, you re-hide the elf, but you wake up in a dead sleep, or God forbid you forget, and then you wake up at 4 a.m. Oh crap! Did someone move the elf? Just to find out that your partner has moved the elf, because that has happened to both Rachel and myself.
Oh.
It is a giant pain in the ass. It is worth it, because as soon as the kids name the elf when you first get the elf, so our elf is Bubbles. So as soon as Bubbles shows his
Bubbles
face,
to the satellite stage.
Bubbles to the satellite stage. Don't forget to tip your bartenders and servers. So as soon as she sees Bubbles, it's a different Abby. She's very well behaved, but it's the hell of remembering to move the elf every single night. Now I'm lucky. I just have Abby on the weekend, so I only have to remember it 3 or 4 nights.
Oh my God, I don't feel sorry for you at all.
You shouldn't.
Not
you
one
shouldn't
bit.
Because I know that I'm lucky. Mary, talk to me about your experiences with the stupid elf on the shelf.
Our elf's name is Seymour because he sees more than the parents do.
Oh, so you didn't name yours after Michael Jackson's monkey?
Is that his name? Seymour?
Bubbles?
Oh, Bubbles.
So your kids did not name the elf then?
We collectively came up with the
Way
name.
to steal the creativity from the kids.
We collectively came up with the name because we didn't want it to have a dumb name.
Fair.
Just gonna.
That's fair.
Anyways, so sometimes I really get into it and make it really fun, and he's doing all kinds of cool stuff. Other times I forget, and I happen to be awake 5 seconds before the kids, and I literally just take him and lob him somewhere. Like, I hope he lands somewhere else. However, I am very lucky that I have a really cool and pretty responsible teenager. When Zoe saw me bringing Seymour out, she goes, "Aw, man, I got another job again for the next 25 days." Like,
you have outsourced.
I have outsourced
the moving of the elf. Brilliant.
I have, and we
So
were
now,
at
now I don't feel bad for you. Let's go back to feeling
Pity
bad
me.
for me.
Feel bad for me, Scott. Listen, we were at
Feel
Target.
bad for you because you've outsourced moving the elf on the shelf to your teenage kid. That's some BS, man.
Listen,
I don't
and
feel
she's
bad for you. You have to move it 4 days a week.
Listen, she's so good at it too. We were at Target and we passed by a display. I did not talk to it. We just, and she was like, "Oh, this should be from Seymour for the boys, and it's like little elf chocolates." And I was like, "Good job. You're a wonderful mother to your brothers. You're doing a hell of a job raising them."
At least they've got one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. You know I'm messing with you.
Wow, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So wait a second. Your elf brings them gifts?
Yeah, yours doesn't.
No, she gets gifts if she's good at the end of the season when Bubbles goes back to the North Pole for the last time.
You know, Seymour hooks it up sometimes. He'll, like,
wait a
bring
second.
different
So
things.
how much money? What do your kids get from the Tooth Fairy?
Often, we maybe they'll make a deal with the Tooth Fairy and leave a note of something that maybe they would like. Because I don't often have cash. So one time Dexter said, "Hey, he literally lost 2 teeth in one day," and he said it would be really cool if the Tooth Fairy got me a NeoPixel lightsaber. And I was like, "Cool, that sounds great, no problem." What is it, like $15? No, it was not $15. That was a whole lot of dollars for a NeoPixel lightsaber from the Tooth Fairy. This last time, he knows about the Tooth Fairy, and he puts his tooth in his hand and he says, "Hey, does the Tooth Fairy want to make a deal?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, what?" And there's a Oculus game that he wanted. So this last tooth was worth $30.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Jesus.
Look, I get shucked down by my kids constantly, okay? It's fine.
Listen, at the second Abby reports a loose tooth to me, I'm immediately at the bank pulling out cash. I stash it away just in case it happens, and I'm ready and I'm prepared, and I'm only giving $5 as opposed to a $30 game.
Look, man, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
I'm trying to help a sister out.
Yeah, but I can't go back now. What, I give him
That's
$5
true. You set
now? He's
yourself
gonna be
up.
like, "What did I
Well,
do wrong?"
When time machines are invented, I'm going to go back and I'm going to be your life coach, Mary.
I appreciate that.
All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, Mary, I guess, has switched from meth to fentanyl. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Hey, everybody, looking for another way to listen to the No New Friends podcast? We are now featured on Glacier FM. That's GLACER.com. That is Glacier, GLACER. And you can hear us Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, that is GlacierFM.com.
Lizard people. The moon landing. Birds aren't real. Hi, this is Chris from the No New Friends podcast. And if you're hearing this message, you were selected to join the resistance. For as low as $1 a month, join our Patreon and help us uncover the truth. Upon joining us, you will be invited to our secret Discord, where we help spread these truths. You will be invited to watch our live recordings where the government cannot interfere. For more information, please send a messenger pigeon to my underground bunker or visit us at www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. If you're in the mood for a ghost tour in St. Augustine, check out See America Tours. That's the Night Watchman Ghost Tour. Just visit See America Tours. That's SEEAmericatours.net and use the promo code NNF for a scary good deal at 25% discount.
Scott, I have a funny story about that real quick. So,
okay,
my aunt-in-law, I guess you call it, Emily's aunt, she's going, so Emily's mom was saying, "Oh yeah, my sister and her husband are going to St. Augustine for their anniversary." I was like, "Hey, well, if they want to do something romantic, I can get a 25% off of a ghost tour." So yeah, I don't know if it's that type of anniversary. I was like, "Hey, if me and Emily went, we would be going on a ghost tour."
Oh hell yeah,
yeah!
I absolutely would. Yeah,
since when are ghost tours sexy? I don't get it.
They're fun. They're just a fun date night activity or friend night activity or whatever. You know what's funny about that commercial? So, you know, Mary did a hell of a job with the writing her own script and all. I thought it was brilliant. Because what's funny, Chris, I don't even think you know this. Mary and I get together and we try to do a combo commercial. And we were just like, I have on record for like an hour for just like literally 1 minute worth of stuff. Because we couldn't figure out what to say.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I had no idea. I just wanted her to be creative and come up with it, and I thought it'd be cute to do it
on the spot. And I was like, I don't know.
It was on the spot. So then a couple days later, I get this brilliant piece of audio from Mary, and then I put in music, and awesome. I obviously I don't want to violate any copyright laws or whatever. Right. But is it just me, or does the music for that commercial not sound like planetarium music? Like I always feel like I'm in a planetarium.
Yeah, now it does.
Right, the do 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 do. Anyway, either that or like spooky porn, like if there was if like a necrophiliac, isn't that what people who what's that called when someone sleeps with a ghost?
That's not a thing. There's not a name for that.
Because ghosts aren't real.
Necrophilia is when they sleep with someone who is dead, like the dead corpse.
So necrophilia.
Yeah. That is not the same thing.
It still works. I mean, dead ghost, same thing. I get it. No, I guess if you sleep with a ghost, you are a necrophiliac.
Right. So a dead person. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like if a necrophiliac made a porn. Well, okay, listen. If someone who married or slept with a ghost were to make a porn, I feel like that would be the music.
Masturbation is what it would look like.
What?
Hands-free, though. Hands-free.
I don't know.
Hands-free with the ghost. You know, someone did marry a ghost once. I don't like in one of those states where like marrying anything is legal. Like you can marry your car, it's legal. Probably Alabama, yes, probably. And to our listeners in Alabama, we actually mean Kentucky. But yeah, I mean, it like one of those states where you can just marry anything. Someone married a ghost. So if that person were to make a sex tape with their ghost spouse, I feel like they would use the planetarium space music that we are using for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour commercial.
Great. And how soon can we get that commercial taken down?
You know
well, no, now it's going to be everybody's face. This guy, that is going to be the most plausible. Well, it doesn't really work for plausible, but the most rewound commercial that we have, just so they can hear the space ghost porn music.
You know what's funny is those states like Alabama and Kentucky where you can marry anything. You can marry anything unless it's the same gender as you.
It's true. Yeah, because they don't want to really mess up the sanctity of marriage.
Right,
It's
right.
traditional.
God forbid. If
Literally.
marry your cat, but hey, don't marry. If you're a dude, don't marry that other guy, man. Marry your
Right.
marry your car instead.
How about this tractor?
Here's a nice tree. Have you met this tree over here?
So you say you're gay. Maybe I have a car for you instead, sir.
Now you're a transformer.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, maybe would you like a Gundam toy or something?
With no glue.
I wonder what.
No glue.
No glue because you have to give it a bath after the pre-release.
That's okay.
So ghost porn.
Wow. All right. Hell of a transition there. You know?
So speaking of states in which you can marry anything except for someone of the same sex, Mary, you've switched from meth to fentanyl. Tell us about that.
What a segue.
That's
What is
the
segue?
worst
Polk
segue.
County. Polk County is a state of its own. It like Polk County is like the
State of
Alabama of
crisis.
Florida.
Yeah, I got it.
It is a state of. Well, really, let's be honest. Florida is the state of. I mean, Florida is Alabama, but without the cousin marrying. I don't know.
Right.
But Polk County is. Polk County, you can marry a tree, but you can't marry someone from the same sex.
I was actually not in Polk County when this happened, though.
Listen,
Which
it's
is
funnier if you don't correct me on the Polk
That's
County
true.
stuff. Okay,
That's
just
true.
go
But
with
I
it.
think that's where like you can take the girl out of Polk County, but you can't take the Polk County out of the girl. Like I
There
brought
you
it with
go.
me.
There
I
you
brought it
go.
with me to Lake Mary.
Yeah. Like the
Um,
doctor's like, okay, we can put you on some normal medication or some
Or-
fentanyl.
yeah,
Mary's like,
well-
oh,
she's
fentanyl,
from
please.
Polk County.
Yeah. Well, they're like Tylenol won't work. Somebody grab the fentanyl. Which actually I feel like may be exactly how this happened. Picture it, Lake Mary, 2022. Okay. I have an appointment with my PCP because I wasn't feeling all that great. Thought it was my celiacs just like messing with me. Spoiler alert, it was not, but still. Go to the doctor and she's like, you look like garbage. And I wish that she didn't say those words, but she kind of did. And she was like, you need to go to the hospital right now.
Oh.
And you can't drive yourself because you look awful. And I was like, why, thank you. Now tell me how smart I am.
If that was the basis behind not being able to drive, I would never be able to drive a car.
Right?
Because
You're like, you're not pretty enough to drive this automobile. So Mike Reedy came and my doctor called. Mike Reedy came and got me. I needed a CT scan mostly and fluids and stuff. So we get there and I've never experienced this type of hospital experience. We get there and go into a triage and they put me in, like put an IV in me, like while I was still waiting to like go back. So I'm like in the waiting room with a pole.
wait, you're in the waiting room with a pole?
Yeah, I had a pole with
Like a
an
stripper
IV.
pole?
No, if I tried to strip on this thing, there would be an issue for everybody. So I'm just sitting there, like amongst the masses, like waiting to go get my little CT scan with my IV, just like chilling, hanging out. And they finally are, call me back. I get the CT scan, and then he was like, "Hey, we have an order for some medication, but we're not gonna put it in now. We're gonna wait till we get you settled in your room." And I was like, "All right, cool. That seems fine. Whatever." So we get back in the room. They're like, "We need you to take a pregnancy test before we give you this medication." And I was like, "I don't have a uterus, so I'm pretty sure we're good to go. But all right, I will pee in this cup." And so now I'm on like my second or third bag of fluid at this point. And
Hold on, real quick. The opposite of that is it's really funny when someone is pregnant and they go in. You've seen on the ultrasound this baby, but they still have to do the blood
They
test to
still-
confirm
we
the
gotta
pregnancy. It's like
check.
there's a goddamn picture right there. What are we doing here?
maybe you ingested a dino-shaped nugget. You don't know.
Well, that could be true in
Could
your
be.
case for sure. I could understand.
Yeah. So, and all the while, I'm in nursing school. I know some things. And I'm like, what is it that they could possibly be wanting to give to me whilst I just wait here? I thought I was just going to hang out waiting for some CT results and be on my way after I get these young fluids, you know, waiting. The guy comes in, he's like, I have some medication for your abdomen. Okay. And he looks over at Mike and he goes, don't let her get out of bed, puts up the rail and pushes fentanyl. They gave me fentanyl and I don't know why. Like I'm in a little bit of pain, I would say, but not like I'm not pushing out a baby. That's what I would assume that would be for. And I caught myself just staring at the guy like 3 seconds after he pushed it. You know, when you do a forward roll, you probably don't know this, Scott. Chris, you know, when you like do like a roll or something athletic and
like a somersault?
Yeah. Like
I know how to do a somersault.
Like you see the sky go past you.
Oh yeah.
The sky kept doing that like over and over
I
again.
just did that with enough Bud Light.
Yeah. Well, it was. Think about whenever I had that wisdom tooth extraction times 12. I was higher.
Please
than
tell
a
me,
kite.
Did Mike get video?
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was just staring off. And fun fact, I don't like to breathe when I get medication like that. I just stopped. Like my respirations were 3 per minute. And all these alarms go off. The guy comes in and he's like, okay, mommy, okay, mom, just relax. Okay, mom. And I was like, why are you calling me mom? Not his mom. I'm not his mom. Like,
well, I'd be thinking at that point, wait a second, is there something that came back on the pregnancy test that we need to talk about?
right.
Here?
Well, no, they gave me the fentanyl, so I guess they didn't care. They're like, her and this baby are about to get jacked up.
Also, what's his accent? Was Bubba Job your doctor?
No, I think he was, maybe. I'm not good at accents. I think he was Filipino. He's very nice. His name was Albert.
That was a real close Filipino accent. I am nominating you for accent doer of the year.
You know what? I went through some stuff. So I was there for a real long time, just like hanging out, waiting for them to come in. And then they basically were like, hey, we're going to pump this off to a specialist, but thank you so much for coming in. They gave me more medication. And I'm pretty sure I was high for like a day after that. Like I couldn't go to work for like 24 hours because I couldn't function.
Jesus, you're starting to sound like Remy.
What happened with Remy? Why is he
not working?
Okay.
No, he never goes to work.
I see.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to work, and then even the next day after that, I felt hungover.
Wow.
I don't
so
think
they
I
gave
could
you
ever
all
do
those
it.
drugs for the condition that you were in?
Yeah, I don't know.
Could you text me what you said you had?
I think they saw maybe results first, and then they were like, maybe we should make her feel good, and then we're gonna go in there and be like, just kidding, get out of here. But they did. Whenever they discharged us, finally, I was still high. Like it was quite a bit later. Like it was a long time later, and I was like, I don't know, do these legs work? Are these mine? Like it was, it was fine. So yeah, fentanyl, the orange color are best. I know they sell them in rainbow shades. I would recommend orange or green,
yeah,
kids.
I get them for
because they're
Halloween.
marketing it for
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. So Mary, I'm not gonna lie, I felt really bad when I found out that you were in the hospital because I totally misread your text message. You said I had my first experience with fentanyl in the hospital, and Scott said something about where, and you said in the hospital. I thought, because you're in nursing school, so I figured that you were like shadowing someone in the hospital and got accidentally stuck with like a fentanyl thing, because something like that just happened to my sister.
Yeah, and they have it on like a patch too.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh, wow, that's crazy. An accident.
Or maybe they were just
Balls.
sampling the side effects of different drugs. Like, here, try this.
Yeah.
So that you can lead with empathy or sympathy for your patients. Because
I would
now
not recommend it. 1 out of 5 stars. I did not enjoy that trip. That was not fun for anybody involved.
Oh, yeah,
maybe for the
doesn't sound like
bystander.
it.
I don't know. It was not good. Yeah.
Well,
so
we would know if there was video, but there is no video.
there was nothing to video except for me staring at Albert as I stopped breathing. There was nothing to video.
I would have just loved to hear this doctor's accent to see how close you got.
Right? Just to compare it.
No, that was the nurse. The doctor was really wild.
Wait, you had a male nurse?
Yeah, a nurse. Everything got quiet. What is that weird?
Yeah.
Why is that
What,
weird?
they couldn't pass medical school, so they had to be a nurse? Like, What's going on here?
I almost
isn't
just-
nursing more of like a job primarily for the women?
the women.
The
For the
These
women.
are all quotes from Meet the Parents. I like.
Yeah,
where
I
are
know.
you guys on this?
But also, like, so sometimes other
Come on,
comments you
fucker.
make set you up for not success in those types of jokes. Any hoozle. No, the doctor that I had, I feel like if I were to ever become a doctor, which I won't because obviously I have a vagina, it wouldn't work out. He like came flying in on a stool.
I didn't say. Hold on. I didn't say that women can't be doctors. I'm just saying that it's weird to see a dude nurse.
It's not weird. There's so many of them.
No, Scott was just saying they shouldn't be doctors.
Yeah.
No,
they
stop! I
can't be.
didn't say that. I didn't say that. And I'm messing around too. I'm sure male nurses.
No, we're always 100% serious on this podcast. Take everything
Right,
that we
right.
say
Yes,
very
yes, you should.
seriously.
Yeah. So you hear that, Emily? He was very serious about what he was saying in the first segment. Okay, you got that right.
You got me. You got me.
Wow.
I deserve that.
Scott, you're a real jerk, man. Anyways, yeah, so I'm not high anymore. Continue
That's
on.
good. That's
Yeah, I
good.
guess. I mean, it's fine. It's a raw dog in life now.
Mm.
This is Alex. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I just turn this knob and... All right, there we go. I think I got it. Now it's time for Alex's last words. Please, no. Hold the applause, please. I just want to talk about some things from segment 1. I'm going to try to go fast because these segments were really long. My wife bothers me while I watch football, but I figured out a way to get around that. See, what I do now is I fold laundry on Sundays between the hours of whenever the game is on. So I do 3 loads of laundry, the adults' laundry. Sometimes the kids mixed in there as well. I pull out a table, I set it up behind the sofa, and I stand there and I fold laundry and get it all organized to be put away while the game's on. Sometimes I'll put away half of it during halftime, and then I'll finish putting it away between third and fourth quarter. And that kind of, allows me to watch the game uninterrupted in a way. So also the things about ignoring things around the house is a guy thing. I guess in my relationship is switched because my wife ignores things. She does not take the trash out when it's full. And if things are overflowing from the trash can, she will not take care of that. I will have to take care of that if it's a bathroom trash can for sure. And then the shower caddy you have that goes from the floor to the ceiling, I know exactly what you're talking about. It is a great idea and concept. We had one. The way you fix it is you throw it away and you start over with a hanging one because they've been around for hundreds of years and they'll stay around for another hundreds of years. And then the elf on the shelf. My wife wanted to do this. I didn't celebrate Christmas growing up. No, we did celebrate Christmas, but we're not Christmas people. So I don't care. And I didn't do homework in school. I'm not going to create homework in my life. So my wife does elf on the shelf. I'll help once in a while. And of course I'll get bothered like, why don't you help? You never come up with ideas. Yeah, well, I didn't sign on for this. I didn't say let's do this. You said let's do this. I said, okay, do it. Sure. If you want to do it, do it. I'll help if I can. I'm not creative like that. It's between the hours of, 8 and 10. I'm trying to get in bed and watch TV. I'm not trying to figure out what we're going to do with the elves and start pulling out hot glue and crafting stuff. Like, no, thank you.
All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, Chris is going to have a top 10 list for us, question mark?
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 street drugs to do
Sure
during
am.
Christmas.
You're listening to You're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary, I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF as in No New Friends and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
I gotta tell you, if you live in the Central Florida area like me, you know that this time of year is super hot. In fact, most of the year is super hot. So I've been using Air Concept to help me out with all of my AC needs. When my AC goes down, they come out right away. They take a look at it. Professional, friendly staff that gets it right the first time. That's Air Concept, concept with a K.com, airconcept.com, or you can give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. And it is the season. That's right, the holiday season. And here comes Chris with Chris Puts the Chris in Christmas.
Wow, couldn't have said it better myself. Such a clean, short name.
Well, we didn't come up with a name. We said last year we were going to come up with a name, and we didn't.
No, I like
and
the Chris Puts Chris in Christmas.
All right, Chris Puts the Chris in Christmas.
I do feel like it's a little stab at Jesus Christ, but
well, no, the Jews took the stab at Jesus Christ and when on the cross.
Wow.
With the stakes. Well, I'm really going to hell this episode.
Thank you for clarifying what you meant. Thank you for just taking that joke one step further.
I've offended women, Christians, and Jews.
And small children.
Meanwhile, I'm favoring very high with the Republican Party right now.
You're doing great.
You're lucky Kanye West had the week he did, because all this episode is gonna be buried right under him. I did watch that. For anyone who's interested, I did watch that 3-hour-long interview with him on Alex Jones' show, and the clips that you have seen on Twitter do not do it justice. Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Is this a documentary?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I haven't
seen it.
You didn't see Kanye saying how much he liked Hitler?
When was that?
I feel like I did hear about this. Yes,
was, a couple days ago.
About this. I haven't seen it.
Couple minutes on this. Listen, I wish Kanye West wasn't such a good musician, artist, whatever you want to call him, because I love his music. He is such a horrible guy. He just got kicked off of Twitter finally because the last straw was him tweeting out a swastika inside the Star of David, saying that Nazis and Jews should coexist. He kept saying, so Alex Jones, who we all know who Alex Jones is, right? The conspiracy theorist, right?
Yeah, Jessica Jones' uncle.
Right. So Alex Jones, I've never watched a clip where Alex Jones seemed like a normal human being. That's how crazy Kanye West was. Kanye was like, because Alex Jones was trying to defend Kanye. He was like, so you don't actually think Hitler was a good guy. You're just saying, that you love, because he's saying, I love Hitler, I love Nazis, but he was saying it in the sense that I love everybody because I'm a Christian. He said, I love Jewish people, I love Nazis, like the way, like you're supposed to love everyone. And that's, Alex Jones was like, you're just saying that because, you think you should love everyone, right? He's like, no, I think Hitler might have been a pretty cool guy. He goes, he didn't do all bad. The Nazis didn't do all bad. They did some good. We can't just sit here and pretend they did all bad. I was like, oh, and then Alex Jones was like, well, listen, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that, Kanye. Yeah. So Alex Jones is actually the sound voice in a conversation for the first time ever in his life. If you didn't see that clip, please go on YouTube and watch some of the clips because
Yeah.
it was. If you ever have a bad day, just watch that video because he had a way worse one.
Immediately feel better about life.
Speaking about insane things, I had a Christmas list for this week, but I kind of did an audible, and we are now going to. There's an article that I found. It's the handy guide to drugs during the festive season. I thought it would be. I thought it would be fitting. Yeah, I thought it would be fitting. We here at the No New Friends podcast do not condone drug use, but we do love funny articles.
But if drug use leads to funny videos or stories that we can use as content, then we're all for it.
Exactly.
Under the supervision of a medical professional, of course.
So we're going to skim through this article because it is a funny one. This one is written by David Hillier from The Vice. Sorry, guys. Urban, what's it called? Spoon University did not have any top 10 drugs during the holiday articles. I did love I'm hoping maybe for next year. So anyway, David goes by saying, Christmas is a silly time to take drugs. Your family's around, your nose is full of cold, and physically incapable of allowing anything in or out. You've spent all your money on scented candles and phenomenally expensive soap for family members who don't really need scented candles or a major upgrade to their soap. Which is true. We all do that. We're all guilty of that. So they're saying, like, you shouldn't be doing drugs. You should be drinking. With all this in mind, here's my handy list of do's and don'ts that you can take a heed of or completely forget about on the night and then remember vividly and painfully the following morning. Wetness in your eyes, vomit creeping up your throat as you Google again for the 100th time this year. Why am I such a prick? So this is David's list of do's and don'ts for doing drugs this holiday season. Number 1, don't take drugs at the work do. Don't know what the work do is. Is that a saying? The work do?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the holiday party.
I'm assuming it's a holiday party. So he says, unless your boss is a genuine friend, beers on the weekend level, a WhatsApp so you picture worthy of HR assessment kind of friend, don't turn up and offer them a line. It comes across as desperate. And if your boss is a square, it will get you fired. Or at best, mean you have to sit through a disciplinary and weekly counseling session with a man named Greg who thinks he knows more about fun than you do. So
yeah, Greg.
So, unless you work in music, advertising, or finance, all industries whose workers depend exclusively on Class A drugs to get them through the day, drugs at work are just not worth it. So, guys, don't do drugs at work. Wait till after. Mm-hmm. Number 2, don't take Class A drugs while your friends are cooking you Christmas dinner. I think it's a pretty cut and dry one. You shouldn't be.
Yeah, it's a little inconsiderate.
Yeah, so have you ever had a pre-Christmas dinner with friends? It's a magical thing that becomes nigh on impossible to organize as you get older. And when you start doing these, if your host is taking a day out of their lives, out of the busiest time of the year, don't turn up, drink 3 Tiskies, and start on the gear you've got left over from the weekend. So guys, don't do a key of cocaine in the bathroom of the host that's hosting the party. When you go down, when you inevitably get invited from the Maffei family, if you're in the state of Florida, to their Christmas gathering, because I assume that he will extend his invite to all the listeners of the podcast. Don't do any fentanyl in his bathroom, please. Please just wait until after.
That feels oddly specific.
I didn't want to address this to you, Mary, but
wow.
Yeah, so Mary, is this something that you can get addicted to? Like this fentanyl? Like, is this something that we should be concerned about?
No, because I hated it. I did not enjoy that. Ugh, no, thank you.
Meanwhile, Mary's on fentanyl right now. She just doesn't know it.
Probably. Honestly, I don't know. It's possible.
I think the most important thing you have to do that is on this list is do give your dealer a break over Christmas. So don't hit up your drug dealer over the Christmas break. He needs a break as well. It's his vacation.
They spend time with their family. Yeah,
exactly. So listen, you have all the rest of the year to do this. Don't do that.
Put your orders in ahead of time. Is there like a cutoff, like delivered by Christmas date?
Yeah, I would say get all your orders in by like the mid-month, like the 15th or 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Then, get your shipment and then revisit after the new year.
Sage advice from Scott Maffei.
I'm getting further. I think this is the last advice we're going to give. As I go further and further, this is a very serious article. This guy is not joking around.
Oh.
He's giving very sound advice. Don't give anything a taste the night before New Year's Eve. He's using a lot of lingo I'm very unfamiliar with. How is this guy not arrested? I'm very concerned about this. Oh, wow. This was written in 2016. That was his very last article. He's never written an article for the Vice again.
Well, with that being said, for those
How
of
do
you
you
who are
hold
looking
on?
forward
How
to
do you
the
think
top
that-
10,
Sorry, how do you think that played out? Like, do you think it was like crunch time? Like, everybody was about to be done for the holidays and he was supposed to put out a list or something for the holidays. And his like editor was like, just whatever. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. And that's what he printed. Like,
Well,
do you
Mary,
think that could have happened?
The even better to go off that point, I just looked to see when this was published. It was published 2016, but it tells the time 2:05 a.m. 2:05
God,
a.m.
God. Well, that's like when. Mary, do you remember? I don't know if you were working with me yet at the first go-kart place, but Orlando Weekly put out an article like the worst. They're the most overrated Orlando attractions. And it was like a list of all their sponsors, like the Orlando Eye and
Wow.
Gatorland. It was like a list of the most overrated. And I remember talking to our sales guy and I'm like, bro, how did that happen? He's like, yeah, someone lost their job over that. Like it just snuck past the editor.
Somebody was probably super pissed off, like an irate employee.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, they put out the most overrated attractions in Orlando
Look,
or
I love that for
businesses or
them.
whatever.
if you're gonna
And it was
go
all
out,
of
go
their
out
sponsors.
petty. Like
Right?
So I feel very
Okay, so for those of you
I
who
feel
are-
like
were
that was
ex-
incriminating. Me reading that.
What?
I feel like that was-
incriminating on you? Did you write the article?
No, but I'm advocating it to the masses. Guys, don't arrest me.
Yeah, like don't do
Oh.
drugs. It's fine. Don't do
Like-
drugs. That's fine. Drugs are bad.
Don't arrest me like David Hillier did. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Rest in
David
peace.
Hillier, we thoughts and prayers.
He can't hear us. He's in jail. He can't listen to this in jail.
Well, we're real big in the penitentiary system. You know, they just they pump it through the. It's what they play in solitary when they're bad and you know they have to be tortured. They just
Wow.
listen to Chris's Cliff Notes over and over
They
again.
just listen to ghost sex porn music.
Exactly.
That article did not go the way I thought it was going to go. That
Got
just got
real
weirder
serious.
and weirder as I went.
It
on.
did. It
got
did.
very
so
serious.
next week, maybe no more audibles, and we'll
No.
do the top 10 worst Christmas songs.
Yeah, we're just gonna stick to the book next week. Wow, that guy was very, very serious. There's a lot of
Yeah.
lingo. I feel like that was a message for a cry for help. Like I feel like he was saying things in the article, like trying to get a message out at 2:05 in the morning. Why not like on the hour 2:05?
Right. What page was the article on? Maybe cut out those little spaces on a piece of paper and then put it over the article, and it'll read out like, you know, help me or whatever. You know, like in Con Air when
I'm
they.
gonna send it over to a connect that I have over in the Gambia that might be able to. He's really good at deciphering things.
That's a good idea. Make those connections.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to have any Jersey Man, Florida Man this week because Ryan is in Florida right now and was not able to put anything together for us. But Chris, do you have any Cliff Notes this week?
I do. I apologize to you in advance, Scott, which I think I probably should lead off by every week because I usually always tear into you.
Yeah, why don't you just leave the content creation up to me and just stick to what I tell you to do, okay?
So anyway,
I can't wait. I cannot wait to hear what history Alex does this week. Is it going to be the history of necrophilia? Is it going to be the all the people who have married a ghost and in what states they're legal?
Alex, maybe ghost porn, history of ghost porn.
Yeah. So if you didn't hear last week's episode, right in the middle of the Gundam robot story, Alex came in with the history of Gundam robots, which I thought was really brilliant. So I'm looking forward to hearing what his last words are about this week. Okay, Chris, go ahead with your Cliff Notes.
So today, we started off the episode by talking about things people in our household do at the worst possible time. So, for example, when Mary's kid tries to show her a video during a TV show. And then another example of this that happens a lot, actually, is when Scott wants to have sex and Rachel is too busy not being interested. Then Scott and I talked about things that we, as husbands, ignore. It keeps the marriage going. So for me, I ignore fallen shower caddies, dirty dishes, and marital issues. Scott ignores social norms, social cues, and healthy diets. It's kind of an informative episode today. I learned about Elf on a Shelf for the first time today. Like Scott said, I always just saw the pictures on Facebook. But now I learned the symbolism behind him and how he works. So I learned that this Elf on the Shelf is make-believe. It's only for a short time each year. and no one touches it. So it sounds a lot like Scott's penis.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Short, tiny cheer.
But it's, speaking about Elf on the Shelf, Mary talked about how, as a family, they collectively named their Elf on the Shelf, so that they didn't come up with a dumb name. I wish Ryan's parents did the same.
He's not even here to defend himself.
And then lastly, when Mary was admitted to the hospital, she explained that she had to do a pregnancy test, which, is protocol for when women go to the hospital. Most women get the traditional test, like I assume Mary did. For Scott's wife, she just shows the doctor a picture of Scott.
Negative. All right, we're good. No test needed.
And those are my notes.
The results are in. You are not pregnant.
Or at least he is not the father. Oof.
Oh. All right, thank you, Chris.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation, right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark,
Hey, it's Alex from Diz His. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of Diz His, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
Chris, what do you got coming up on Diz Is?
Would you say you're stupid, Scott?
Yes.
You are stupid. So a stupid person, I don't think you're stupid. You know why?
Thank you, Chris.
Well, this is the only reason
Why?
why I know why. It's because you use a travel agent.
Of course.
Stupid people don't use travel agents. People that don't care about their money, people that are dumb, and people that just hate supporting small businesses don't use travel agents.
Wow.
Seriously, that's what it comes down to. Since I do love small businesses, since I am not dumb, and since I love saving money, I use a travel agent, Scott. If you check off even 2 out of the 3 of those, you should use a travel agent too. And guess what? I got one for you. Head over to sandpipervacations.com. Get in contact with Nick, who is the owner, who is a great guy, who has a beautiful family, who is the person that you want to book your vacation through. Tell them the No New Friends podcast sent you. Don't wait on hold with all these big corporations like Disney and Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruises. Make Nick do it. He's more than happy to do it. Listen, he volunteers to do that stuff. Let him do it. It's absolutely free. So again, that's sandpipervacations.com.
Yeah, let me tell you, I reached out to Nick like Saturday morning and I said, hey, this is what I want to do. This is the date range. I don't know where I want to go. I don't know where or like what cruise. We want to take a cruise. I'm like, I don't know how many days. I don't know the set sail day. I just need some options and some pricing. And Nick gave me like everything I needed. He gave me the 3 different tier pricing, the interior room, ocean view, balcony for all of the major cruise lines for the 3, 4, 7, and 8 day cruises. Like everything I needed right there at my fingertips. And he got it to me within 15 minutes.
Ridiculous.
And was like, I'm super high maintenance because I don't know how to, like, Rachel has always done this stuff for me. I've never done this stuff. Rachel does it. And he was super patient with me and made it super easy for me to follow his process as we were going through it. So super easy, sandpipervacations.com.
And Nick, if you're listening to this and I didn't talk to you about my Alaskan vacation, message me about my Alaskan vacation because I keep forgetting to message you. And it's as easy as just, oh no, it's actually because I'm confused about the dates. But message me anyway, we'll talk. I want to go on Alaskan vacation and I don't want to do any of the work. So this week on the Diz His podcast, we are breaking down the history of Fantasmic, which is really exciting because, for one, I've never been to Fantasmic, so I can't wait to learn about it. Alex always has a great deep dive on the history of things, so I'm going to learn way more than I ever wanted to about it, which is always fun. I did watch a few minutes of Fantasmic, and it looks really cool. I'm really excited for the new Fantasmic, the new additions they put in there, because although it is all new to me, because like I said, never been to Fantastic. So really excited to get into that history. And then the following week, we're going to have a really fun Christmas episode. So it's going to be 2 back-to-back just good weeks of Disney history.
Cool. Well, if you'd like to connect with DizHiz, that's DizHiz65 on all social media. DizHiz.com is their website. Their episodes come out every Tuesday morning. So listen to us when we come out on Sunday or Monday. If that's easier for you, and then listen to DizHiz on Tuesday. We also have some other friends we want to give shout outs to their podcast. You've got the Nerd Archive podcast. They talk about all the geeky things that you got beat up for liking in high school. Check them out. Super fun podcast. Studio 21, the baseball podcast with C Money and Big Country. They break down all of the baseball happenings and do a special segment, Team of the Week. Remy's Roundtable, the theme park podcast and everything else going on in the beautiful state of Florida, as well as Call of Duty. They talk about that and Remy's eating habits, and they talk about Remy not working and all that stuff. Occasionally you get to hear me on there because sometimes I co-host. Then we also have the Creators Club. You can hear me. I host that with all of our friends that do podcasts. We just kind of talk about, if you're not a content creator, if you're not doing TikToks or a podcast or YouTube channel, it's a very boring podcast. You're not going to like it. But if you are a content creator, you'll love it. And then Dane with Big Beautiful Diz, that's on YouTube. Check out. He does all sorts of really cool things around the parks, about the parks and all that good stuff. Yes, Chris.
I do want to just give Dane a quick shout out for landing his first sponsor. Really cool. It's really fun that we have this little community of podcasters, and when people take like a big step like that, it's really exciting. So shout out to you, Dane. Landed his first sponsorship, and the company that he's being sponsored by actually went on and used his promo code and got a little discount. So if you watch his videos, you'll see his sponsor and everything. It's I was really happy for him though. Pretty cool, pretty big landing for him.
Yeah, and then did I read Nerd Archive got their first sponsor also?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. It's very cool. We all kind of started this around the same time, within a couple years, months, whatever. It was very cool seeing everybody kind of hit their stride. So we love seeing that.
And that's and again, I'm not expecting all of our listeners to go listen to the Creators Club, because the Creators Club, it's a bunch of podcasters getting around talking about best practices and analytics and just the boring, the nitty gritty stuff, but that podcasters appreciate. But what's really cool is just the fact, one, that we all met, because none of us knew each other beforehand, except for Lewis from Nerd Archive and I. We knew each other, but that was it. But being able to come together and do this thing and just help each other, because we're all just helping each other all the time. Yep. That's all, Alex does our editing. Dane and has been working with Steve the intern on our Twitter. Lewis helps us with our Instagram. And then we're doing things to help everybody else. So it's this nice, really cool community. So check it out. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But if you're ever thinking about starting a podcast, definitely listen to it, because it'll be helpful and entertaining. If you'd like to connect with us, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our social media links are there. All of our links to our sponsors are there as well. Please support them because they do a hell of a job supporting us. So please support them when you can. If you listen to us on Apple, give us a rating and a 5-star review. Join our Patreon and become a friend with benefits. That's our clubhouse. And you can watch us record live every single week, and also check out our really sweet merch. We don't know how long the Costco stuff is going to be on there, so grab that up now. On behalf of Mary, Chris, our producer, Alex, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.